SRIRAM's IAS, serving the nation since 1985. Ab offline, hoya online, we are the lifeline.
Hello students, welcome to SRIRAM's IAS. Welcome to this 11th class of the current affairs. We have come up with a next important topic for your upcoming prelims examination. Post-retirement appointments and independence. So we have seen that judges in India retire at the age of 62 when they are the judges of the High Court, and at the age of 65 when they are the judges of the Supreme Court. Okay. Now, usually if you see at this age, at the age of 65 and 62, they are not so old that they are unable to work. They still have 10-15 years left where they can work without their physical body being in a state where it will be a problem in their working. Okay. And given the kind of experience these people have in the public life, in the judicial life, it becomes very important that we need to create some sort of, mechanism for what they can do, because they, on the other hand, they also hold very important posts, judicial posts. So if somebody is a judge of Supreme Court, let's say, and he's going to retire at the age of 65 and the person is very fit, a lady or a gents, anybody, now what will happen? He is going to think about post-retirement options, what the person will do after the person gets retired at the age of 65. And that is where the executive jumps in by making, offers, that you can be made a governor, or you can be given post of in some tribunal, a judge of a tribunal, or you can also join the political party and do something. So there are options. But think about the situation when the executive makes such an offer to the judge of the High Court. Don't you think they will influence their decision making in one or the other way? Maybe they can influence their judgment in such a way that the judges start to give decisions in favor of the executive. And for your kind information, most of the cases and maximum of the cases which are filed in the courts are against the state. Now, if state starts to influence the conduct of judges because of the post-retirement promises that we are going to give you this and that posts, it becomes very difficult for the judiciary to work independently and impartially. Don't you think so? That's a big issue. So, in the past, we have seen that 28 Supreme Court judges have retired in 5 years. 6 judges, constitutional or statutory position post-retirement. 6 judges, and many other judges have taken many other things post-retirement. And this is nothing wrong, because at this age, at the age of 62 and 65, they have so much thing inside them. They want to work. They just don't want to get retired. For example, if a judge is going to get retired today and he is totally active today, how can one imagine that the person becomes totally inactive from tomorrow? That does not happen. That is not how people work. That there is no other work for him. He can take a break of 3 months, 4 months, 5 months or a year and then start working again. But where the person will work? Okay, that is important, because if promises are made by the executive, it can affect the decision making of the judges when they are actually sitting in their posts, sitting on the chair of judges. Okay, so for example, these are the names of the judges. Adarsh Kumar Goyal, he has been made the National Green Tribunal on the same day of his retirement. Okay. Justice Arun Mishra has been made after 9 months of his retirement, the member of National Human Rights Commission. Justice Ashok Bhushan, after 4 months of the retirement, he has been given a post. Hemant Gupta has also been given a post after 2 months of his retirement. P. Sathashivam, the governor of Kerala. S. Abdul Nazir, the governor of Andhra Pradesh, 1 month after the retirement. And Justice Ranjan Gogoi has been a Rajya Sabha MP after 4 months of his retirement. Now, the post is these judges, they have high, experience. They have too much of experience, high volume of experience. what they are going to do post retirement. There has to be some mechanism. But the point is, all the post retirement jobs are coming from executive, from the government. So the question comes, when they were judges, don't you think the executive may have in a way influenced their decision making? Now this is one thing which these are kind of questions which are asked everywhere. And I am not saying that these judges are involved in something. No, I am saying the questions are asked. There has to be some sort of mechanism that after retirement of judges, something needs to come up for their well-being, so that at this age, I would call it a young age, this one 65 and 62, at this age they have so much of energy inside them that they can still work for 10-15 years, and some mechanism needs to come up. But at the same time, the independence and the impartiality of the jury has also to be maintained. Now, there are several suggestions with regard to this. There are also several constitutional provisions with regard to this that will be helpful for your upcoming prelims examination. We will see. There was a debate, okay, in the Constituent Assembly, and that kind of debate, one in the favor of post-retirement appointments and one against the post-retirement appointments. So, K.T. Shah proposal, he made a proposal that the post-retirement should be barred. The retired judges should be barred from holding executive offices. At the same time, they feared government influences through post-retirement appointments. H.V. Kamath also said something. Shibban Lal Saxena, they warned that the executive could influence the judiciary in key disputes. Also, post-retirement appointment are no problem. These were the statements made in favor of post-retirement appointments. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said it opposed the ban, arguing that judiciary is not primarily concerned with the executive. Means these are two different things. So why there is going to be any kind of influence? At the same time, unlike UK, where the retirement age is 70, and USA, where there is a lifetime tenure, India's judges retire quite early. So they need some sort of job after retirement. And if the government is coming up to give them some post, what is the issue in that? Judges need opportunities post-retirement due to low pensions. Yeah, this is also one of the issues. They have been getting some salary and all kind of benefits when they were judges, and all of a sudden everything is gone. The salary has become half. The allowances given to them and all other kind of, they have to empty up the space where they were living, the house. They need something. Okay, so these were the issues which were arguments which were in favor of the post-retirement. So Dr. Ambedkar believed that the executive would not meddle in judicial affairs, but the emergency from 1975 to 1977 proved otherwise. Okay, what happened during that time? We are going to see that the ADM Jabalpur case was there. Article 21 and Article 226 were scrapped. So few decisions or the orders were made by the judiciary during the period of 1975 to 1977, which have actually portrayed that the executive interference in judiciary can be there. Judiciary may not at times be impartial, can be partial also, can favor the government in important cases, and that is the reason the meddling can be done, and that is the reason the independence and the impartiality of the judiciary has to be maintained. The constitutional provisions are Article 124 clause number 7. What does it? It prohibits the retired judge of the Supreme Court from practicing before any other authority of India. Now think about a person who has retired at the age of 65. He has all kind of experiences, but he cannot appear before any other court in India, including the Supreme Court. He sits at home doing nothing. Okay, think about the mental condition of the person. He needs some job, he needs something. This restriction is aimed at maintaining the independence and impartiality of the judiciary. However, the Constitution does not explicitly prohibit retired judges from accepting post-retirement assignments or of appointments. So they cannot go and practice law in front of any other court, including the Supreme Court, okay, or before any. There is prohibition or bar, no strict prohibition or bar after the post-retirement jobs. They can do, follow the assignments. That is why the executive comes up to give them some sort of job. They can be made as the governor of a particular state, a lieutenant governor of a particular union territory, or the you can be given the post of judges in National Human Rights Commission, other tribunals. Also, they can be made the Raj Sabha members. They can join the political parties and fight elections. There are many avenues which are open to them. But again, it raises the question of judicial impartiality. Now, Article 128 is an important constitutional provision where if there is a lack of judges or there is a vacancy, the Chief Justice of India, with the consultation of the President of India, can ask for retired judges. Retired judges. This is a special provision that the President consent may request a retired judge of the Supreme Court, Federal Court, or a High Court qualified for the appointment of the Supreme Court to sit and act in the Supreme Court. So, acting judges. There is a provision of acting judges. The power is given to the Chief Justice of India. He, with consultation of the President, can ask any other judges. The basic requirement is the judge, whoever the person, the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice is asking to come and sit as a acting judge, must consent for that position. It's not an order, it's a request made to them. Post-retirement, that we do have vacancy here and please, if you could come and be the acting judge in the Supreme Court. They will be given all kind of facilities which are given to the sitting judges of the Supreme Court. Article 220, this provision is about the High Court, that it bars the High Court judges from pleading before any authority in India. Any authority except the Supreme Court and other high courts. So there is a kind of bar, the High Court judges also cannot go on and practice anywhere except they can go and practice in Supreme Court and in other high courts. They can practice. But there are many bars, many other judicial authorities are there where they cannot plead. They need some job after retirement. So the emergency period, as we have discussed, especially the ADM Jabalpur case, this ADM Jabalpur case became a cornerstone case. Why? Because this was seen as a interference, the executive interference in the judiciary, where executive has influenced judiciary to give decision in favor of it. And that is the reason why the question of judicial impartiality and the executive meddling into the judicial affairs keeps coming. And that is the reason why we have also seen this post-retirement is one thing, but we have also seen in the previous video that Lokpal was trying to extend its jurisdiction and was trying to bring the High Court judges under its ambit, which was fiercely, suppressed by the Supreme Court. The judgment is still pending, but the Supreme Court was not very, very happy with this affair. So, in favor of post-retirement appointments, why there should be post-retirement appointments? Because judges' experience should not be wasted. Okay, we have already seen why the post-retirement appointments must not be given in order to, establish the authority of the Supreme Court as an impartial court and the authorities of the High Court as the impartial court, to maintain the independence of judiciary, to maintain separation of power, that one organ of the government does not meddle into the affairs of the other, and to maintain the criminal justice system which should work appropriately in the country. But there are also arguments in favor of it, Why the post-retirement appointments can be given? Because the judge's experience should be used. It should not be wasted. Think about their 30 years or 40 years experience. If you're just wasting them, then what's the use? They can be put into some good use in this country. It's a huge country and we need help of every last person, especially the people like judges who have very vast experience. No legal bar on post-retirement rules. There is no legal bar as such. Article 124 and Article 220, they just say that few judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court cannot plead in the authority from where they are retiring. So there is no actual legal bar on it that they cannot join a political party, cannot become a member of the Rajya Sabha, or cannot be the governor of any state. They can be fulfilling vacancies requiring specialized knowledge, especially if you see tribunals. They are of great help. For example, National Human Rights Council, okay, NHRC, if you see this commission, specialized knowledge of a judge is required, okay, and that is the reason if you ask the sitting judges to be here, it becomes quite taxing on them, because they already have the mainstream judicial work. But the post-retirement judges whose experience needs to be used can be requested to sit on the panel of National Human Rights Commission. It becomes very important. This can contribute to judicial institutions. Yes, can be ensuring integrity in official positions. So this is a very important issue, very important for your prelims examination also. These three articles, the establishment of the Supreme Court by Article 124, and also there are many clauses. Clause number 7 prohibits the Supreme Court judge to practice in front of any other court, including the Supreme Court. Article 128 is a provision that a post-retirement job can be given by the Supreme Court. If there is a vacancy in the Supreme Court, as nobody is there to fulfill it, they can act on the request of Chief Justice of India as the acting judge of the Supreme Court. And then Article 220, which prohibits the judge of the High Court to take up pleading in front of any other court except the Supreme Court and the other High Court. So these are important provisions for your upcoming prelims examination, and this issue is very important. Thank you very much for joining me and listening to this video. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.